Hello everyone, my name is Ari, I use they, them pronouns, and me and Emily are leading a flyer making workshop. We are going to be showing you two different ways that you can make some kind of promotional material, whether that be digitally on the computer or physically in a kind of collage or art type form, which is what Emily is going to show you. And before we get into the physical flyer making, we just wanted to talk a little bit about what a flyer is and why they're important. Like I said before, a flyer is a piece of promotional material that's intended for wide distribution in order to spread the word about an event, a concert, a protest, any kind of gathering of people or virtual gathering of people in this case. And flyers are key in community organizing, in building any kind of movement in any kind of community, whether that be a girls' rock camp or a Black Lives Matter protest or an end of camp extravaganza, which is what we're going to be making flyers for. And so, we just wanted to put together this little informational tutorial in case you needed any kind of pointers, tips, or directions in terms of making your own flyers. And so there are a few key components of a flyer, which I will get into more in my tutorial, but basically you want to be keeping in mind the audience, like who's going to be seeing the flyer, the key elements of a flyer, which is any kind of words, what the event is, any kind of information about the event, as well as contact information, like maybe an Instagram handle or your name or your phone number if that's necessary, as well as a call to action, so like a time, a place, a goal of this event. And then you also want to be keeping in mind the design of the flyer, so the colors, the images, the font. You'll see in Emily's flyer that there's like some words that convey the message of Girls Rock, as well as some images that we think represent the camp. So the physical flyer will be in collage format, as I mentioned before, and then if you wanted to learn how to make a digital flyer, I will be using a program called Pixlr, which is similar to Photoshop, with which some of you may have heard of, but it is a free version accessible on the web. So without any further ado, let's get into the flyer making. And also, just a quick little note, you do not have to watch this whole video. We know that your time is precious, and if you're only doing one type of flyer and not the other, feel free to skip around and find all the information that you need.
Hello, my name is Emily. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am going to be a junior counselor, drum instrument instructor, and workshop leader during this week of camp. The reason why Ari and I thought this flyer making workshop was so important to bring to camp is so that we can work on helping you all use your voices to speak up about causes that you care about. So this week, a cause that we both really care about is Girls Rock. So we both chose to make flyers for the end of camp showcase. You all are welcome to make flyers for your bands, for the end of camp showcase like we did, or for any other cause or organization that you feel passionate about. The point is to use your voice to help spread the word about a cause. So do what feels best for you. And we really want to see your work. So this Wednesday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., which is open hours at camp, we're going to have an art project show and tell. So come, bring your flyers, bring your virtual flyers. We'd love to see what you've worked on so far. Or just come with an idea and we're happy to talk it through with you. And if you happen to do this workshop after open hours have happened or after camp, send your flyer in an email to Gabby and we would still love to see what you did. You all rock.
So the first thing you're going to want to do to create your virtual flyer is to go to pixlr.com. Next, you're going to want to choose either Advanced Pixlr or Playful Pixlr. I personally like to go with Advanced Pixlr because I think that it gives you the most options. So next, if you're starting with an image, you can go to an image that's on your desktop already downloaded and click Open. You can go with the Full HD, which will just allow you to have a smaller image that's more easily editable. And I had to rotate my image, as you can see. But then you can zoom in and out by using your fingers on the mouse pad. And the first thing that I like to do is to add text. So you're going to click the little T and then add a text layer. And then you can just go ahead and type whatever kind of title that you'd like for your flyer. since I'm creating this flyer for the end of camp extravaganza, I just went ahead and went with that title for my flyer. Then you can click on the little mouse to move it around, place it where you'd like. And then if you want to adjust the size or color, you can see that there's this top bar, and you can change the size using the slider or by typing in a number. So yeah, once you found a good size, you can then go ahead and change the font using this pull down menu. Find something that really fits the vibe of your flyer that you think will grab people's attention in terms of graphic design. I went with this font because I think it really is kind of punk rock, you know? Then yeah, you can click on the color and use the color wheel. You can also use the eyedropper tool to choose a color that might already be on your background image. So yeah, this is me just playing around with what I want to add to my flyer. And yeah, I decided to add more text to kind of add more information. As I talked about in the introduction, it's good to have like the key place, time, and date of your event. And so here I am adding that the extravaganza is virtual, that it's on Sunday, July 19th, which I hope is the correct date for the actual extravaganza. And I don't actually know if it's at noon, but that's just what I wrote for my example flyer. And then yeah, I'm adjusting the size and everything like that. And so once you have like all of the information, you can like play around with where you want the text to be. You can rotate the text, you can change the size and the color and the font, like all of which I have already edited. And then once you've got all of your text and things, I like to add kind of additional details to help pull the flyer together. So I select the brush tool, which looks like a little paintbrush, and then you can change the size as well as the brush type and the opacity and things like that in the top bar. I went ahead and chose a color that was already present in the image, and then I used the brush tool to kind of outline Maya, the drummer, as well as Zora and Callie. This is a photo from their showcase. I think it was last year. And so, yeah, I just like to add a little bit of decoration. Here I am selecting another color. I like to kind of keep everything within the same palette to kind of have a really cohesive flyer. So yeah, here I am decorating it up. And then, yeah, I just like to fill in kind of empty space, make it like appealing to look at, and things like that. And yeah, all of these tools are very similar to Photoshop, which is like a professional design platform. And so if you can kind of have a good grasp of how to use the text tool, the paintbrush, all these various tools, then you're in pretty good shape for knowing how to create any flyer. And then if you mess up, you can go to this history bar on the right, and you can undo things by going to your last action. And then if you want to go back, you can scroll further down and redo the actions that you might have accidentally undone or that you actually want to be in your flyer. And so, yeah, that's like a pretty basic base image background type flyer. And lastly, if you want to create a more complicated flyer, you can actually take various parts of images and do kind of like a collage type flyer. And this can also be done on Pixlr. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is, instead of going to open image, you're going to go to create new. So you can have kind of a fresh canvas in order to start your collage flyer. So once you go to create new, you can click web 720p, which I think is a good size. It's kind of like a medium size, and you can adjust how you like that on your screen. And then I just wanted to change my background color to pink. So here I am, making my background a fun color. And I find that this kind of flyer is a little more fun and gives you a little more freedom, because you don't have to stick within the confines of your initial background image, and you can add more than one image if you want. just by simply repeating these steps. So the first thing that you're going to do is click plus and then image to add a new layer for an image. And then, I went to my desktop, selected the same image as I used last time. On Pixlr, it can be a little tricky in terms of how the image uploads. So like, as you can see, it is sideways and it is way too big. And so yeah, don't actually go to image and select that. Instead, I would just click on the image on your little layer bar. And then you can use the top little bar and rotate left, as well as changing the image size, which, as you can see, you go to image and then image size, and you can kind of type in whatever size you want your image to be, and it will shrink the image. And then you can also, if you want it to be even smaller, you can scroll out and use the little tabs on either side of the image. And then once you've got it to the size you like, I think Pixlr automatically snaps the dimensions back into a kind of normal and not stretched kind of way. And so once you get it a good size, you're going to click the Lasso Tool, which is used to make selections for what part of the image you want to be cut out. So yeah, select the part that you'd like on your flyer and then just outline it freehand using your mouse. Make sure that you connect the other end of your lasso to the initial starting point, and as you can see, it kind of snaps to that selection. Then you're going to go to select and then convert to mask. And what this does is it masks out the part of the image that you didn't select. And then I like to kind of feather out the edges in order to make a smoother edge between the image and the background. So that's what this feathering tool does. And then once you've got that how you like it, you can continue to add any other kind of customizations like I talked about for the last flyer. So yeah, we're just gonna speed through this. So I'm adding more text layers, and then I'm changing the size and the font to make it really appealing. And then, yeah, I select the brush and I do my little details. And then what's really fun on Pixlr is you can also change the brush to be like more fun. There's different like shapes. So if you go to the brush selection, you can scroll down for the different shapes and sizes. And there's fun little stars and other images like that. So I selected this little fun star guy. And then I added some of those to really bring a little bit of fun to my flyer. And so yeah, then once I do that, I kind of did that again with a yellow print. And then yeah, you're all good and you have a really fun, amazing flyer that you made virtually, and you can put it anywhere you like. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to share your creations in open hours.
Hello, my name is Emily. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am a junior counselor and drum instrument instructor this year at camp, and I'm going to be showing you all an example of a physical flyer for this workshop. So I have a piece of blank paper. I have some other pieces of paper around here that I'm going to be using to make a background. I printed up some Girls Rock related pictures. So we have this. I have a magazine that I'm going to use for some lettering that I'm going to be doing. I have some pens nearby and glue and tape. Any or all of these things that you have at home are awesome for making a flyer. Let's go into this time lapse of how I make mine. Hello again. I had a lot of fun making this flyer. So I'm going to show you the final product. So this is what it looks like. We have our camp theme song up here to remind everyone what Girls Rock Chicago is all about. Girls Rock Chicago Showcase. And then we have where and when, so in your living rooms, and the dates for session 1 and session 2. And then an extra graphic over here, cool past poster for the showcase. Hope you all enjoy making your own flyers.
Thank you guys so much for watching these tutorials, and please make sure that you come to open hours on Wednesday from 3:30 to 4:30 to share your wonderful creations, as well as uploading them to the drive so that we can put them on the Girls Rock social media platforms if that's what you'd like. So yeah, thank you guys so much.